Welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm Kathleen Walter. With us today is former Louisiana Congressman Jeff Landry. He served from 2011 to 2013, a vocal supporter of cutting federal spending. He was a leader in the fight for fiscal responsibility and less government. He is the founder of a new PAC called Restore Our Republic. And Representative Landry, so good to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, talk to us about Restore Our Republic. I understand its goal is to elect conservative candidates to the House. What can you tell us about this, and what are the PAC's plans for 2014?
Well, I would think that the two primary goals of this PAC or mission would be to protect, preserve, and then expand the conservative majority inside the Republican Party in the House of Representatives. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds odd, you know, because if you're Republican, you should be conservative, but you know that's not what we've seen over the last couple of decades.
Now, you have said that you want to make sure that conservatives in the House know that there's a group out there that has their backs. How come? I mean, is this in response to concerns that House leadership is maybe hostile towards conservatives?
Well, during the short time that I spent in Congress, I learned that yes, that conservatives sometimes catch a tremendous amount of flack from inside the Beltway, and those groups can exert extreme pressure on those conservative members to try to get them to vote in ways that are opposite of their core fundamental beliefs and the promises that they made to their constituents back in their districts. Mm-hmm. And so I think that there is a need, a great need, for a super PAC, basically a vehicle which people outside the Beltway can participate in helping those members who are inside Congress right now to relieve that pressure and know that there's someone that's going to come to their aid when groups try to get them to vote outside of their conservative principles.
Now, there seems to be a number of PACs and groups getting involved in primaries, including Karl Rove's Conservative Victory Project, the Tea Party, and Club for Growth. Do you see Restore Our Republic working with these other PACs with the goal of supporting the same candidates, or are you concerned about the possibility that these PACs could engage in another round of establishment versus grassroots battles within the Republican Party?
Well, I'm not concerned about having to pick a candidate opposite of any of those other PACs, as long as the candidate is a conservative, okay, and we vet that candidate, and we believe that he shares the same values that we have on our mission statement that we've placed on our website. Then, if some of those other super PACs that you mentioned, if they support that candidate, well, then we'll all be on the same side. But if they don't, if they're simply in the business of trying to just elect a Republican, then we may be on opposite sides. So if they want to support the most conservative member within that primary, then we'll be on the same side. And if not, then we'll be opposite.
Representative Landry, while we have you, I'd like to get your quick take on the budget President Obama introduced today. His $3.77 trillion proposal has been met by outrage from both sides of the aisle. The budget tries to curb deficits by further raising taxes on top earners and attempts to rein in the growth of Social Security. What's your take on Obama's budget?
Well, you know, first of all, let me just say that I don't believe we need any more taxes, okay? We need to curtail the size of government. That seems to be a common thread amongst a majority of Americans out there that understand that we have to limit the size and scope of our government. When I was in the House of Representatives, I cut 16% out of my budget and sent $160,000 back to the Treasury, while at the same time providing my constituents with the type of services that they expected and deserved. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know why we can't do that here in the rest, you know, why the federal government can't do that across the board. So I think that the president is coming out there and trying to say, well, I'm forging a compromise because he's dealing with entitlements while at the same time asking for more tax increases. But my message to him was that, Mr. President, you got your tax increases in January. Now it's time to cut the size of government.
Yeah, I mean, the budget plan is similar in some ways to the proposal that President Obama made to House Speaker Boehner during December's budget negotiation. What advice do you have for Speaker Boehner as to how he should proceed here? And are you concerned that he'll cave on taxes again?
Well, I think that the Speaker has got his marching instructions coming out of the seminar, the workshop that Republicans held right after the election. of Speaker Boehner, and they agreed to move forward, and that no new revenue would be placed on the table. And I would hope that he would stand by that. I think that waffling on that or caving into that, as you say, would be to the detriment of not only his speakership but the Republican Party as a whole. They laid new revenue on the table, they caved in, and they gave the president that revenue. Now it's time for the president and Democrats to live up to their side of the bargain, to their side of the compromise, and start limiting the size of the government.
What about 2014? Do you plan to run for Louisiana Senate then?
No, well, let me just say this. I'm not ruling out any run for any particular office. I think that would be unwise of any person to do. We don't know what 2014 is going to look like, but right now I'm concentrating on getting this super PAC up and running, going out there and telling the American people that, hey, guess what? We've got an organization that has the backs of conservatives inside the House of Representatives, and if you want to grow that conservative number inside the House of Representatives, join me.
If folks want to learn more about Restore Our Republic, where can they go?
They can go to our website at restoreourrepublicpac.com. That's restoreourrepublicpac.com.
All right, Representative Jeff Landry, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.